stream 緊。我間房好鬼凍，我覺得個中央空調由暖氣轉咗冷氣啦。佢係某一個時間點就會自己轉，不過我冇留意到幾時轉。可以開嘅。你哋真係就咁紮個翼就係啦，就喺度瞓嘅咯喎。我諗我玩埋呢個任務，係睇下先。幾點嚟㗎？12點，會唔會太遲咧
I've been to see Sir Radzig.
So how did he take the news?
Well, he wasn't exactly happy about it.
I can well imagine. I wouldn't want the Zulus plundering my estates either. If I had any.
He wants us to carry on patrolling the area. There's nothing else for it.
That makes sense. I don't think he'll come to us. So we'll just have to hope we run into him. I'd like to check out the big forest to the north, and then carry on via Ujits.
Sure.
Mount up then, and let's go.
其實佢紮個型可以再紮得近啲 Rata。OK。係咪個 safe 咧？夜晚嚟。
Please, can we stop for a bit? My arse is aching, and I've such a thirst I could drink a moat dry.
Same here. What do you say, Chief?
Not to worry. We'll reach Ujits soon. We'll spend the night there.
I heard they've got a peculiar priest there. They say he drinks like the devil himself.
There's nothing strange about that. Every other man of the cloth is a swill pot.
Or a lecher.
Or both.
Quiet. Listen.
好有電影感。有冇咁好彩撞到
Please, please, sir, help me.
Don't worry, lass. Nothing to fear. We're with Sir Radzig, in the manner of speaking. What's the matter?
These brigands came. The menfolk fled and left us there. They started pillaging the place, drinking whatever they could find and smashing things. I ran off, but the other girls... You've got to save them. Please, I beg you.
Easy, lass. Drinking, you say?
Aye, sir. They rolled the casks into the courtyard and started swilling like pigs from a trough.
Well, as our old cook used to say, if you want to make a proper goulash, you should soak the meat in ale for a while to soften it first.
Ah, let them get well soaked, and then go and chop them up. Good thinking, Chief.
But what about the girls? Those men, they were...
Ah, I'm sure your friends won't be getting nothing they ain't had before.
Well, unless they be nuns.
Kuno, the girl's right. If we delay, her friends will pay the price for it.
I appreciate your advice, Henry. But it's caution that'll keep you alive, not chivalrous deeds.
How do you think Sir Radzig will look if you let that happen? What will people say?
If I cared what people say, I wouldn't be a mercenary. It's no skin off my nose.
Well, I can tell you, Sir Radzig cares, and so do I. So we better ride there right now.
All right. I hope your Radzig will take care of my funeral mass too. My sin-burdened soul will need a bit of a push to get through the gates of heaven.
Don't worry. They won't be as drunk as you'd like, but they won't be entirely sober either.
True enough. Let's do it then. Right.
Safe。你等等，安全起見，睇下攻略先。哇，冇寫嘢嘅喎呢度。個 wiki 係未寫完㗎。邊度有攻略？ 係騎馬嘅而家。
Who wants their back covered?
My right arm is stiff since last night.
And best to take off your gauntlet first, so as not to do yourself an injury.
Still, it's always good to have your helmet well polished before battle.
Thanks for the invaluable advice, brothers.
I'll watch your right side then, yeah?
Thanks, Jakey.
Fuck!
What's up, brother? Heart in your mouth.
Jesus, what the fuck?
It's a sign from God, Petter. A foretaste of what we'll do with the liquid loot we take from the foe.
Shit. I wanted to charge them with a terrifying roar. But no more wine flowing
They'll be shitting themselves. With laughter.
多人。極差而家個。邊個？
Good work, lads. So, where's those damsels we so gallantly rescued?
輕鬆。執嘢先。跌啲武器出嚟。你咧？修理完未？你受咗傷。
Who's there?
睇下先。You can still loot afterwards. Don't loot the bodies now. Okay. You say so. 講嘢。
You want to have a scrap with me?
Scrap? That's putting it in vulgar terms. I want to challenge you to an honourable bout of combat. You've nothing better to do right now anyway.
All right. But let's make it a bit more interesting.
You're a man after my own heart. Tell you what, let's make it a lot more interesting.
Well, a wager like that will bring a bit of excitement into it at least.
You're very sure of yourself, ain't you? Well, you're not the only one. So let's do it. I'll kill you. I'll fucking kill you. Ow. Shit. Ow. Blood will be spilt.
出唔到去啊！出到。
Up for a game?
Always. I've got some nice little items to wager. What do you say?
Well, that depends what you have.
I've got a shield, a jupon, and a very fine embroidered hat. The shield's got the Rickfald crest, a nice piece, handles well, and tough enough to take quite a battering. Then I've got this combat jupon. Not only does it look good, but it'll help keep your skin in one piece. And then there's this noble hat. It's not a lot of use on the battlefield, but if you want to look elegant around town, it'll certainly make a big impression on folk. And the girls will be fainting at your feet.
I like the sound of that shield. I'll play you for that.
All right, but what will you wager? You'll have to make it worth my while. After all, fine things like these here don't just grow on trees.
This should be enough, right?
That'll do me. Let's play. We'll see whose side Lady Luck is on.
冇咗粒重要嘅色仔，好慘。
That's all. We'll see. That's it.
三分一機會。
God's holy hat.
Rip。
Fucked again.
That's it.
How about that game then? Have you still got those nice things you'd like to wager?
I do indeed. What takes your fancy?
I could use that jupon.
All right, but what will you wager? You'll have to make it worth my while. After all, fine things like these here don't just grow on trees.
This should be enough, right?
That'll do me. Let's play. So, bring it on. Come on, it's time I had a throw.
It's so.
Good game. You deserve it.
How about that game then?
I doing?
From the sounds of it, with a hat like that, I could rule the world. I'll play you for it.
All right, but what will you, after all?
This should be enough for...
That'll do me. Why, oh, why did I ever agree to this? I'll lose my shirt again! I can't follow you, Rafer. What the hell's with these damn dice? We'll see. No point in pushing it.
You won't hear much. Needs dropping from over there. Sit with us.
Enough. I'm done with it.
Free people's minds. Then this other charlatan came to town and settled on the other side of the river, and he said he could read minds too. And I was thinking, if them two met up and started reading each other's thoughts, then actually they'd be
They left us some damn good booze here. And as my old man used to say, the fire of battle must be quenched. Of course, the only battle he was ever in was with Ma. But still, it fits. Anyway, I hope you'll drink with us.
Sure. Why look a gift horse in the mouth?
My words exactly. Me and the lads were just saying how we know nothing about you. Most of the folk around here have hardly been further than the village market. But you must have seen a thing or two.
Go camera angle.
Come and have a game. Promise I won't cheat.
1、2、3、4、5、6、7係所有人都喺度。
Hey, Henry. Fancy throwing some dice?
They left us some damn good booze here. And as my old man used to say, the fire of battle must be quenched. Of course, the only battle he was ever in was with Ma. But still, it fits. Anyway, I hope you'll drink with us.
Sure. Why look a gift horse in the mouth?
My words exactly. Me and the lads were just saying how we know nothing about you. Most of the folk around here have hardly been further than the village market. But you must have seen a thing or two.
That I have. I suppose you heard about the raising of Skalitz.
Aye, I heard. And Radzig told me you're from there. But that's probably not the kind of story to go with wine and good cheer.
Have you heard of Sir Hans Capon?
I heard his name mentioned in Colleen, in connection with some wench, as I recall. A young dandy, eh?
Yeah, that's him. He's going to inherit Rat-Eye once he comes of age. I run some errands for him now and again. Well, once we were at the baths together, and his lordship wanted to seduce one of the bath maids.
Naturally, that's what the baths are for, among other things.
Yeah, but with Sir Hans, nothing is ever straightforward. First, I had to play strip dice.
That's good. Did you win?
I did, but I had to strip myself anyway to get into the tub. Only no sooner had I done so than his lordship demanded wine from the castle cellars, which is a long fucking way from there.
I reckon you're a man who can't resist a challenge.
If I'd been sober. I went all the way there and back in my undergarments, and no sooner was I back than he sent me to pick flowers for the girl from the castle gardens.
It's starting to sound like a fairy tale with 3 wishes.
Well, actually, he probably did have a third wish, but he didn't get a chance to say it.
How's that?
Well, I got back only to find the girl's sweetheart, some guard called Arsenballs, well, that's what Sir Hans called him, trying to drown him in the bath.
Drown a nobleman over a wench. That's balls, all right.
Well, Sir Hans was naked and drunk, so he didn't look very noble. Anyway, I tackled this fella and saved Sir Hans from him. It could have all got out of hand, but it ended with only a few bruises. Sir Hans never got his way with the girl, though.
All that trouble for nothing. Tell us another.
Do you know Talmberg?
Oh, I do. It's that castle on the hill, not far from here.
That's right. Sir Divish is the lord there. You might have heard he was locked up in his own castle for 7 years by another lord he had some dispute with.
I remember hearing something about that. How did he get out?
His wife, Lady Stephanie, managed to get justice for him in the end, with the help of the provincial council.
Right. But I thought you were going to tell us something about yourself, Henry.
I'm getting there. It's to do with the young Lady Stephanie. She took a liking to me and asked me to help her get some things for her cousin's wedding, which I did. And she was very, very grateful.
So the lady was nice to you. That's a charming story. Not exactly bard material.
No, you don't get it, Kuno. She was very grateful.
What are you... No. Never. You and the lady of the castle.
Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise for me, too.
Are you mad? Did it cross your mind what her husband could do?
No, I suppose. But I was caught up in the moment.
Jesus, Henry. Let me give you a word of advice. We're not from here, so it doesn't matter much. But I wouldn't go telling that story around these parts.
Of course not, don't worry.
Tell us another.
Have you seen Sasau Monastery?
I've seen it from the outside. A fine building. But at the pace they're going, it'll never be finished.
You could be right. Anyway, I've seen it from the inside.
Like, you were in the courtyard?
Like I was in the cloisters.
Good one. Only the monks are allowed in there.
Exactly.
Come on, Henry. I like a good story, but at least make it believable.
I swear to God. I had to get in there to find a fella who was hiding out amongst the monks.
I see, but they don't take, no offence, every idiot that comes along.
No. You have to be able to read and write, and speak Latin, and sing it, even. Yeah, or at least convince them you can.
You speak Latin?
Sure. Basio sepo volam, qui plagam dilego solam.
I'm impressed. What does it mean?
Something about how you can't trust anyone. I don't know exactly.
You don't have to understand Latin to know that.
That comes in handy if you want to insult a priest, though.
Well, we have a scholar in our midst. And what's it like in the cloisters?
It's like time moves at a different pace there. You pretty much have to do the same thing day in, day out. Get up before dawn, pray in the chapel, eat with the brothers, then go and work in the gardens or the library.
I don't think I could handle that much excitement.
Yeah. It takes some getting used to, all right.
A nice story, but let's just drink.
No.
Hey, Henry. Fancy throwing some dice?
How about that game?
I do indeed.
I don't want to sound, well, mercenary, but I'd rather play for coin.
All right, but what will you wager? After all,
Actually, I don't think I'll play after all.
Ah, what a shame. I give you such a great opportunity and you turn it down?
佢已經唔記得咗，我贏咗佢3次。
A little friendly game, what'd you say?
They left us some... Of course, anyone.
Sure.
My words. Me and the lads were...
Let's throw a few dice, eh?
I've got a good one about something that happened in Skalitz.
I'm not sure Skalitz is an entertaining topic.
No, wait, you'll enjoy this one. Well, we had a German as a neighbour, a furrier he was, and he was always blabbering on about how Sigismund was the best thing for this country and how Wenceslas wasn't worth a damn. Me and my mates got fed up with his horse shit. After all, he was insulting our king, and we weren't going to put up with that.
Regular patriots, eh?
And as it happened, this Deutsch had just whitewashed his house. Lovely and white, pure as the driven snow. And next to it was a big pile of fresh manure.
Ah, I think I see where this is going.
Wait though, his wife was at home, you see. So I went to her and said, "Good wife, sorry to bother you, but your husband is in the tavern insulting the king." And she says, "Oh, God above, the fool is drunk and spouting nonsense again." So she jumps up and off she goes to give him an ear bashing, leaving the coast clear for our operations.
I can just imagine it.
Yeah, you should have seen it. How those shit pies stood out so prettily against that pure white background. And then the Deutsch's son turned up with his mates. Naturally, there was a bit of a brawl. And then the catchpole turned up and we had to beat a tactical retreat.
Quite the general, aren't you? Tell us another.
I was trying to track down these bandits who raided the Neuhof stud farm, and the trail led to Ujitz. I made the acquaintance of the parish priest there.
Oh, I've heard some stories about him. Apparently he's quite a character.
That's putting it mildly. But he does keep his word, and he sure knows how to drink.
A typical man of the cloth, eh?
I don't know about other priests, but Godwin can booze like a master. So we ended up in the local tavern. What can I tell you? Wine, women, and song, you know how it goes. Well, we lost track of time a little, and then the bailiff came barging in and tells us it's past curfew and we're to clear out.
Was he on his own?
No, he had some men with him. I'm not sure how many. It's all a little blurry. Anyway, we explained to him politely that we had no intention of ending our enjoyment. So, after a bit of discussion with the bailiff, we carried on. Next morning, Godwin was as green as a frog and hardly able to walk. And then he realised he had to say mass.
That's a show I'd like to see.
Well, he couldn't do it. So he got me to preach the sermon.
You? Preaching? You're joking.
Well, I did my best. Of course, I wasn't in great shape myself, so I'm not sure what the flock made of it.
My word, you're a dark horse. Tell us another.
唔知係邊次個故事呢個？
Once I met a very peculiar character in Sassau. He was selling amulets, relics, and all sorts of supposedly miraculous junk.
Charles! You want to watch out for fellas like that.
Indeed. But this charlatan took me on as an apprentice.
The sorcerer's apprentice? You're having me on, right?
No, it wasn't like that. He just wanted me to, acquire some things for him. Nothing too difficult, so I did it.
What kind of things?
Like a tooth from St. Procopius, for instance?
What? Relics like that don't exactly grow on trees.
Oh, of course. So instead, we settled for a tooth from some labourer called Procopius.
So this fella was walking around with a mouthful of relics. How did it end up?
Well, in the end, the charlatan was driven out of town by an irate mob. I was lucky they didn't lynch me instead.
Nobody likes a swindler, that's for sure. A nice story, but let's just drink.
All right. 收鬼晒全部人。OK， 完結啦，咁就好普通啫喎，呢度啲任務。每個都好短。佢啲屍體仲喺咪度先？消失晒喎，好似消失晒啊！你有冇聽啊 ？Drinking。之前係間正常嘅屋嚟嘅，我記得。路都唔容易認。我非常好奇點解佢冇一個俾人綁住啲馬嘅地方，不過綁喺啲欄杆度都得嘅。哇！又要重啲，又要冇咁保護。反而係我嗰件勁啲，係。